Well, our talk title this morning is The Power of a Smile. And I bet you've already given a whole lot of them today, and you've received a whole lot of them today. And that's what I'd like to talk about first this morning is when we come together and we sing the welcome song and then we go around and greet one another, even though I'm not physically a part of it, it feels so good in here. Let me tell you, the emotional, psychological, even physical energy shifts. The smiles, the hugs, the tender looks on people's faces as they're greeting one another, the feelings of being supported right where we are. We each come on Sunday morning with having had a different experience than the person sitting beside us throughout our week, and yet we come and we see them in all their truth, in all their wholeness, in all their beauty, in all their health, in all their love, in all their abundant good. And we see that because we know that what we think about, we bring about. And so we want that for one another. So we come together truthfully to love one another, to love all over each other with our thoughts, with our hugs, with our smiles. And it's a beautiful thing. And like I said, sometimes our week doesn't look like all the love that we have to give, right? So last week when we were on our way home from Charleston, we noticed that the trailer just was not moving the way that it was supposed to. There was a sway to it, and we've heard horror stories. So we slowed down, didn't know if it was the wind or it was the roads or what it was. We had all those conversations, but we couldn't quite figure out what it was. Since we had had a similar experience, but we knew it was the roads last summer when we went on our trip, and it was the 1 out of 30 days that then we ended up being a little testy with each other. We decided, nope, not doing that scene again, which was a very good thing, personal growth for both of us. But we knew we had to do something because the trip was not working out well coming home. So we saw a sign. Everything comes our way, right? Mark said the universe is always supporting us. We saw a sign that said Cracker Barrel. Well, good. We stopped for lunch. They have great parking for RVs. And we stopped and we went in. We got lunch. We used the restrooms. We came back out. And we're walking along, and I'm cheery now. I'm knowing good expectancy in my future. And David goes, "Oh my God," and he stops right in his tracks. So I look back to see what's the matter. And he's staring at the RV. And I look and I'm like, it's missing a tire. And we're walking up and he says, it's not just missing a tire. It's missing all 5 lug nuts. One broke off. The others, how'd they fall off? And it's missing the whole wheel. Well, no wonder. So immediately me, who can't even change a tire, is wondering, oh my gosh, will we be here for forever? I mean, what are we going to do? David immediately goes, well, the first thing is we've got tomorrow covered in case we're here overnight. Sunshine's going to be speaking. What a blessing. She's magnificent. We can call her. She'll take over the whole Sunday. It'll be wonderful. Okay. Andre's standing there frozen, and he goes, well, I'm going to go back in and talk to the manager there and find out where the nearest store is to go get the parts and come back and fix it. I'm like, well, can I go inside it while you're gone? And he's like, no, you should just stay outside. I don't know if it would be safe to go inside it. Okay, so I sit in the parking lot waiting, and something comes over me, and it's the title today, The Power of a Smile. I can sit here in this parking lot and gripe about it, or complain about it, or worry about it, and create more of it, where? Right within me. Or I can say, well, you know what? It's a pretty nice day out here. I'm getting to sit in the sun for the first time in a long time. This is great. He came back, he fixed it, we were on our way. Well, he had the power of the smile all along. Right after his, oh my God! And then he went boom, right back into it. Well, what am I going to do, and how are we going to take care of it? What's coming up? And I was like, well, this is great. I really didn't have to do anything. So why did I have any negativity at all? It wasn't affecting me. He took care of the whole thing. I tell that story not because I'm proud of it. I tell that story because it's a great lesson for all of us. We all do that to ourselves, I suspect. I know someone recently told me, speak for yourself. Okay, I'll speak for myself, but maybe you can relate to it. And the faster we get back into the power of the smile, the better off for us and everyone else around us.
So it's we're kind of like talking about the power of a smile in the face of adversity. But it's not really just adversity, it's just having a smile all the time, because, stuff can knock us off center. But if we're prepared for it, if we're already in a positive state of mind, the stuff can push us, but we're not going to fall over. Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. And so the stuff can come along and hit us, but it doesn't really affect us because we're in a positive state of mind. I like the saying that when you can't control what's happening, challenge yourself to control the way you respond to what's happening, because that's where your true power is, in your response, knowing that nothing can come along that can ruin my day. I'm going to keep my smile through all of it. Viktor Frankl went through some tough times in his life. He says everything can be taken from us but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances. No matter what's going on around us, we remain calm, cool, collected, positive. That sounds like signs of mind, doesn't it? Khalil Gibran says, man struggles to find life outside himself, unaware that the life he is seeking is within him. If you think about it, that's where a smile comes from. It doesn't come from things around us, it comes from how we feel. It's an emotional trigger, and then suddenly a smile just kind of pops to your face, and you go, oh, that's nice. If we're thinking positively, I believe that's one of the major teachings of science of mind, finding that inner strength and knowing that is the truth of who we are. We are not the garbage that happens around us. We are the inner source of energy that is within us. Ernest Holmes says, I keep a deep sense of unity with everyone and with everything. I know that all is love, and I am filled with the goodness of life. Love and light flow in and through me. It's the idea of starting the day with a smile. Starting the day with a smile and carrying that smile throughout the entire day, knowing that some kind of adversity comes along. There are no vulnerable spots in me to be attacked. 6-year-olds laugh an average of 300 times a day. Adults laugh 15 to 100 times a day. Sometimes I wonder, do I even laugh that many times in a day? Somewhere along the line we've forgotten. And we don't laugh, we don't smile as much as we used to. That's not science of mind.
I'll tell you, you do. You laugh at me a lot. So, Ernest Holmes defines joy, which I'm thinking of as the inner smile, defines joy as emotion excited by the expectancy of good. Joy is the emotion excited by the expectancy of good. Knowing that good is always coming our way. And so as I was thinking about his definition, I was thinking, well, that being true, and I absolutely agree with it, that means it's really important for each one of us to know what is my way of finding that, of staying in it. What do I do? What am I doing when I am living a joyful life? Now, we could look at the things that we're doing when we're not living a joyful life, but we don't want more of those. And those will fall away as we find our way or ways to stay steeped in joy. And as I was thinking about that, I realized that, boy, I need to notice that most of my Sunday messages come with a song. This idea of the power of a smile has been unfolding for a while. And the song I found myself singing this week, maybe some of you are already guessing what it is, and maybe there's another one too, but mine was, when you're smiling, always smiling, the whole world smiles with you. You know that song? So true. What a positive message to put within. So the mere act of singing, for me, elicits joy. It elicits that expectancy of good. The emotions that I take on excite that expectancy for more good to come my way. Probably the reason I didn't even notice the tire until David pointed it out. But you know, it's important for each of us to find our way or ways. What is going on? What are we doing? What are we thinking about? What are we saying? Who are we hanging out with? What are we listening to? What are we reading? When we're feeling joy. And that we want to have more of. So I was thinking, as I was thinking about that, well, I just tend to be a real happy-go-lucky person, just like my mom. And then I thought, well, really, what's the alternative? Who would want the alternative? To not feel and experience joy. Things happen in our life, I'll grant you that. But we can look at the tire and then sit in the parking lot brooding and complaining. Or we can sit in the parking lot and be grateful that we have a sunny day to just sit there, right? And that's true for all of us, it's just the circumstances change. That's it.
Yeah, I was thinking that usually when those things happen, you're actually on the road, and it's raining, and the wind is blowing, and semi-trucks are flying by. We weren't. We were in a safe, comfortable space, and so it was actually not too bad, except for the angst. But anyway, you know, a smile is contagious. You ever notice that? When you're walking down the sidewalk and you see someone and they're smiling, it's almost like a yawn, where you're almost I'm sorry to bring that up, but you're almost powerless to resist it. And a smile is exactly the same thing. When somebody smiles at you, you automatically just smile back at them. And when you smile at someone else, they automatically smile at you. And I can't tell you the number of times I've walked up to a cashier in Publix or something and somebody's griping about the price of things and yitty. And I walk up and I just give the cashier a smile, and all of a sudden the old energy just dissipates. The negative energy dissipates. Doesn't matter where the smiles come from. If it's coming from me to them or from them to me, it doesn't really matter. In fact, I find that a smile has great symbiotic energy even when it's to myself. I quite often get up in the morning in the mirror and I comb my hair and I get whatever's going and ready, and I walk away and I don't even happen to even look at my face in the mirror. I'm too busy taking care of business. Sometimes I walk in the mirror and I look at myself and comb my hair and I give myself a smile. Do you ever do that? Smile at yourself, look yourself in the eyes, and smile at yourself in the mirror. Sometimes it's a little uncomfortable, but sometimes it just feels great. It's like saying, gee, I do love myself. I am a good person. And that smile just radiates back and forth and back and forth. It's so powerful. I believe that's what we do in Science of Mind with our positive thinking and creating thoughts of affirmations. Affirmations are actually inward directed encouragement to ourselves, reminding ourselves. Treatment is reminding the self of your higher truth. the truth of who and what you really are, knowing nothing negative can possibly stand against the truth of who we are. It's alignment of our inner strength, and it's changing our attitude. And there's another song that I think about, don't worry, be happy. Right? Don't you worry about a thing, because every little thing gonna be all right. And those things are just gonna pump you up and say, yeah, you know what? That's true. A smile is like a bowl, and it catches all the good coming its way. A frown is like an umbrella, and it deflects all the good coming your way. So, turn that frown upside down and catch all your blessings that are coming your way. Counting your blessings one by one is giving yourself constant reasons to smile. When I walk out into the rain, like this morning, I get this great saying. I never use an umbrella. Well, very rarely, unless it's really pouring. But I usually say every drop of rain is a blessing from heaven. And so if the droppings are falling on my head, that's good. It's a good thing. Counting my blessings, even in those itty bitty little raindrops, so they know they're doing great things for my lawn, even though they're messing up my hair. When you're depressed, downward energy is so strong that smiling takes great effort. When you're happy and when you're smiling, positive energy is so strong that frowning seems pretty illogical, actually.
I like the smiling into a mirror. I say we all practice that this week. And for me, I usually end up laughing when I do that. I think the Taoists have it down really well with their idea of thinking. They teach that the constant inner smile ensures health, happiness, and longevity. Think about that. When we smile, we are feeling better. When we smile, we are feeling happier, healthier. And when we're feeling happy and healthy, we have longevity of good health. And smiling to yourself is kind of like basking in the sun, basking in love, basking in the light of God. When we smile to ourselves, we become our own best friend. We remind ourselves of those ways that keep us on the path, the right path. And living with that inner smile allows us to feel harmony and balance in our life. And that's really important. So you know what's interesting is that Ernest Holmes does not have the word smile in the book that I could find. I checked several sources and I couldn't find the word smile. He just goes with joy. So we came up with our ending today is going to be some Ernest Holmes quotes, and we will give you a copy of them so you can take them home and keep that joy in your life each and every day.
So Ernest Holmes says, you have discovered the spiritual universe. Many others have discovered this same world, but each must make the discovery for themselves. You are going to have a lot of joy sailing around this world of yours. Don't fight the opinions of others or waste your time arguing over these things. Follow the inward gleam of your consciousness and you will arrive.
Instead of dwelling on negative thoughts, cause your mind to dwell on peace and joy.
Everything necessary to the full and complete expression of the most boundless experience of joy is mine now.
Have the will to be well, to be happy, to live in joy.
Life is not just something to be endured. It is to be lived in joy, in a fullness without limit.
And finally, I am a gift of joy that God gives to the wonderful world, to a wonderful world. I'm going to repeat it and then ask you to say it with me. I am a gift of joy that God gives to a wonderful world. Together,
I am a gift of joy
that God gives to a wonderful world. And so it is.